Welcome to Knowledgeable Aging. I'm your host, Jason Kotar. Joining us today to talk about migrant women and employment opportunities is Sandra Ruiz-Moriana. Sandra is a qualified social justice and political activist specializing in equality, diversity, and inclusion. Migrant women, employability, and leadership are her top priorities. Over her professional career, she has gained relevant working experience with people from diverse backgrounds, nationalities, life experiences, and ages. This includes providing the necessary support to assist them in achieving their personal, educational, and professional goals. As a result, Sandra has developed a genuine passion for working and advocating for the rights of people through mobilizing the communities and empowering individuals to think creatively. Thank you for being here today, Sandra. How are you?
Hi, how are you, Jason? Thank you very much, and hello to everyone that is listening today.
Very good. Well, thank you so much. Looking forward to this conversation. A little bit of housekeeping for those that are joining us live today on this webinar. If you have any questions, type those questions in. Time permitting, we will do everything in our power to get those questions answered. Sandra, I'd like to get started. Talk a little bit more about you and your journey. I'd love to hear that, and I know that people are interested in learning, about you.
Of course. So I'm currently living in Ireland, in Dublin. But as you can hear, I'm from Spain, from a beautiful city in the south of Spain, and it's called Seville. So I came to Ireland 11 years ago, I suppose, because I have a strong desire to succeed in my career. So I wanted to do a master's and to keep improving my skills and my communication skills, my professional skills, and to seek for new opportunities. And it was kind of difficult to find in Spain. So I was working hard from the very beginning, but soon enough I started to realize that there was something different about me here in Ireland. I was part of the other. And that kind of change of identity in my life, it was kind of new for me. So I started to realize that I was a migrant woman after a while. And I just want to kind of break here to have a Kit Kat, if you don't mind, because I know the word migrant seems to be controversial for some people. And some people don't feel comfortable with that word or to be associated to that word, because it has some negative connotation. But I don't see it like that. I'm a migrant woman and I'm proud of being a migrant. And the negative connotation is coming from another side. But the fact that I'm here in Ireland, I came with the freedom and the choice to move to Ireland. But unfortunately, because the situation in Spain, I cannot move back. I cannot return to where I am from. I'm considering myself a migrant. And I just wanted to clarify that. So as part of that process, I started to recognize that there were some barriers and certain struggles that I have to overcome. So I was working hard to improve my English skills, because when I came to Ireland, I couldn't say anything. It was hi, hello, bye-bye, and that's it. That was all what I could say. So I was working hard until I could access to my master. Then I was maybe it's just, I cannot get to the position or the role where I want to get because my qualifications are from Spain. So I completed 2 different master degrees on the top of other different programs here in Ireland. But again, it felt that it wasn't enough. So then it was like, well, maybe my network is not extended enough. Like I need to expand my network. So I was working hard to meet people from everywhere and from all the different sectors. But again, it was not good enough. And the people, when I was meeting career guidance, when I was meeting people and they were helping me, they were telling me, go to the tech sector, get a job there and get money there. And I couldn't do that. I couldn't sell my soul and to say, well, yes, because I need the money, I'm going to leave behind my career, all the work that I have been doing and all the investments that I have been putting in my profession. The people were telling me just to leave it and to get a job in the tech sector. So that was really difficult. And then the other struggle was like, even if I was trying and I was doing volunteer work and I was doing CS scheme and everything that you can imagine, the the type of work that I was getting was very, the salary was very low and very poor conditions. So that was extremely difficult. So because I consider myself an ambitious person, I have some goals in my career, I was not ready to take that to leave my passion. I was not ready to say, no, okay, you leave it there and take the job just because the money. So it was really, really difficult. And I mean, as you can hear, and even when I try to talk, it's actually difficult to talk about it, because every time that I was getting a rejection letter and I was trying to apply for a new role and to keep improving in my career, and I was getting a rejection letter, it was extremely hard. But I thought it was me. It was all about me. And then suddenly one day I joined a group of migrant people, migrant women. And then I realized that there were other women and they were going through the same pain than I was going. So it was a relief. I'm sorry, I'm just saying that because my personal journey is very attached to actually my career at the moment. So all the work that I'm doing now with women that I'm working, like currently I'm coordinating a project. It's called it's Migrant Women and Opportunities for Work. And all what I'm doing is bringing my personal experience and expertise to this project, to make a difference in these women, so they at least to try to make it, to try my best, then they will have a different experience than I had in the past, because there's a lot of work that has to be done here in Ireland.
Sandra, you mentioned, I mean, I can hear the pain in your voice. Can you talk a little bit more about this pain? And I don't know if trauma is the right word that you've experienced. Like you said, you're living it through your work too. So it's not like there's a separation for you. So how did that go with you? I mean, how were you able to rationalize that in your mind?
It has been difficult. It has been very tough years that I have to live here in Ireland. I'm not gonna lie to you, like Ireland is wonderful and people are beautiful, but there is a lot of work that has to be done in terms of inclusion and integration, real one. So when you arrive to a new country with a very poor communication skills, little knowledge about the system, poor network, it takes a lot of courage to actually wake up every day and to fight and to keep working and to keep fighting for your dreams and to make sure that you don't lose your hope. So it was really difficult. I was lucky enough to have a good support of family and friends, and they were beside me, supporting me no matter what. But I cannot say that I have enjoyed my 11 years here in my professional side. So, I mean, I have cried, I have suffered, I have blamed myself so many times because it was all about me. My English is not good enough. My qualifications are not good enough. My networking is not good enough. My accent is not good enough. My. So when you are telling yourself over and over the same idea, in some point it cannot get inside of you, inside your brain and your heart, and you start losing confidence and you start losing your hope, which is the most important thing. So I mean, it has been difficult, and there is no question about that. But maybe because I'm starving, maybe because I'm silly, I don't know why, but I didn't give up. I haven't given up. Like, I'm still today fighting for my dream. So actually, the other day when I was thinking about what to say today here, I was in the shower, and I think it's one of the best places to kind of think about yourself. And it's when I spend my time talking to I don't know, everything out there. And I was like, when you have let's say people like Stephen Jobs, he was spending hours and hours inside of the chat trying to make a Mac and a computer, and he was failing, but he was repeating, like, he was trying again, he was failing, he was trying, and he was trying, and until he actually got something. And I think that's actually what is happening to me, and that's how we need to see that. And we are on our own product, and we are our own inventors. So we are inventing our own product, if that makes sense. So I need to keep working hard, no matter what. I need to keep working and try and fail, and that's okay, and to keep going until I get to the point where I feel then I have succeed. Am I going to get there? I don't know. But all what I know is that I need to be true to myself and to feel that I'm authentic to myself, to my value, to what I believe. So that's why I refuse to go to the, let's say, the easy path of just getting a job for money, or avoid my passion and my career and to get any type of job just to bring money to the family, which is important for me. Don't take me wrong. Like I have a family that I need to support, and so it's a really hard decision, and it's not only my decision, it's kind of a family decision. But as I said before, I'm lucky that I have that support and I can do it. So I mean, coming back to what I said before, what I was mentioning, that I got the opportunity to meet with other migrant women, and they were in similar space than myself, and they were going through the same frustration, the same pain, and the same stress. And we actually, as part of this project, we did a short survey. It was really short. It was only 3 weeks. But in that period, we got 345 migrant women and migrant descendant women, then they response to the survey. I mean, they shared different information, but one of the most shocking one, the one that really called my attention, was when we were asking them about barriers that they were facing. And there seems to be kind of, they were sharing the same type of barriers, and all of them. So they were talking about barriers like their qualification were from different countries, their working experience were from different countries, the accent, even migrant women from America, and they are living here, they were talking about their accent to be a barrier to get a job in Ireland, which is very interesting as well. And they were talking about childcare, family support. So we do have some kind of similarity in the barriers that we are facing. And not only migrant women, migrant descendant women as well. Because at the end of the day, let's say I have my daughter, then she's a mixed race. In the future, she is not going to look like the majority of the people. Her surname is not Irish. Her parents are not Irish. So all this is gonna make more difficult for her to succeed in her career unless we change now the situation. So yeah, so.
Yeah, that's it. That's you didn't even I'm sure it was not, you didn't mention it, but also age discrimination as well too. Besides for all the other barriers that the migrants are faced. I mean, age discrimination as well.
Absolutely, this is another one, and it's getting more difficult because the thing is, with the new technology, the new generation are way more prepared than my generation. Let's say, like, I didn't go to school when I went to school, I didn't have English until I was 12 years old, and I didn't learn how to use computer because back in the day there was no such a thing. Like, there was very limited use or nothing to computers. So it is another important factor. So for migrant women, it's just, when we talk about the glass ceiling that women are facing, and we talk about that glass ceiling. So when you talk about migrant women, that glass ceiling becomes kind of more than one layer. It's like, could be 2, 3, 4, or 5, depending on your profile. So if you are 45 or 50 years old, that's another barrier on the top of it, being a woman. If you are the color of your skin, whatever, you have a different color of your skin, if you are part of the minority, you have another layer. If your accent, if your degrees, if. So at the end of the day, when a migrant woman wants to smash that glass ceiling, we need to go through different layers, and it makes it very difficult for us to succeed in our career.
Yeah. I'd like to talk a little bit, Sandra, about the system and how it can help migrant women more for the success in their careers. What else can what can happen?
I mean, there is a lot of now policies and diversity and inclusion teams, and they are working towards the idea of having more diverse society, more diverse teams. But it's kind of hard. It's very difficult. And all what I can see in the vast majority of, the cases is tokenism, which is kind of sad. But now that you are sharing this, I just wanted to talk about this because I think this is what I feel is the current system where we are living. And I'm going to share another one that is just an idea of how we can improve the current system. So when you look at this is something that I did it, by the way, so it's not a big deal. Sorry about that. It's kind of simple enough, but I hope it helps people to understand what I want to say. So this, sorry, it's actually the other one. If you don't mind, Jason, to share the other one.
Yep. This one.
Perfect. Yeah. So when you see here, new arrivals in Ireland, new women than the gay in Ireland, in that first step is where they do get all the support. We are talking about new arrivals, people that they don't have the permission to work, and they don't know people in the area, they don't know the system, they do not speak English, and they don't have qualifications. So everything is there, which is good because there is a strong need for people there. But what happened is, and then after 5, 10 years, 15, 20 years, people living here, we are still migrant. We never stop being migrant. But some people think because we can speak, we know the system a little bit because we have been studying here in Ireland, then the problems are gone. Then we are perfectly integrated and we do have equal opportunities. The reality is not like that. So what happened is when women are fighting for their dreams and to keep working hard, and they try to keep scaling, climbing up the ladder, they can't. They get tired. So some of them, what happened is they decide to stay at home and to become a mother and to stay at home because it's no point for them to go to work when they have such a low salary and poor working conditions. So at the end, when they balance the situation between family and working conditions, they say, I stay at home. Others, they get tired because they get frustrated because they want to keep stepping up in their career and progressing and at some point they lose the motivation because they can't unless they follow what the system has for them. So as you can see there are less and less women going up and very tired. And some of them, they do get to the top. There's a few of them, very little, very few of them, and they're in a leadership position. But you can see there that they are tired and they cannot, and they're exhausted. And other than there's the reality that they don't care anymore. They have been going through such the amount of pain and the amount of work that they have been doing, that now that they've reached the level, they are like, listen, that's it. This is for me. Now it's time for me to live my life, which is fair enough. And there are other than they do have the energy to keep supporting and encouraging other migrant women to keep going up. But this is the current system, what I believe is the current system. But if we go to the next one, is what I think it is more, it's more relevant for everyone. So the support is not just allocated at the beginning, so the support is going through the whole journey. So we are talking that we are looking at migrant women that they are at the top, and how those can help to be women that they are in the next level, and those who are in the next level, how they can help the next one and the next one. So it's kind of the support is coming more from the top to the bottom, rather than just for the bottom to go to the top, if that makes sense. So in that sense, we support and empower migrant women to keep progressing in their career, to keep growing in the sector where they want to grow, and to get as far as they want to go. So it doesn't mean that everyone needs to be now a manager, or everyone has to be in politics. Or no, that's not the case. Everyone should choose where they want to be working and what they want to do, but with real opportunities. So I think that's where I think it can help and can change. To first of all is to realize that we are migrant women, we are all our life migrant women, and we still need support. So we need to make sure that we support migrant women at any level. And then the second thing is to realize that we need more women in leadership positions, more role models that can support other migrant women in their journeys.
Yeah, Sandra, you actually just touched on what my last question was. You know, from your perspective, I'd love to hear from you as to, you know, the need for more women in leadership.
That's, I mean, for me, it's extremely important. And I would say that it's not only important to have women in leadership positions. We need women, more women from different backgrounds in leadership positions.
Yep.
So we need women with different life experience, from different socioeconomic class. We need women that they have disability, migrant women, so different voices. And the reason is very clear. And in 2019, I decided to run for the elections here in Ireland. Yeah. And my only reason was, running for the local election, just to be clear. I cannot run for the general election.
Right.
And the only reason for me was to bring a different voice to politics. I wanted to make sure that people that they are living here in my area, we do have a good percentage of people from migrant background. They could see, they could feel that their voices are represented. So when you see people that they sound like you, then they look like you, that kind of make you feel like your voice is there. On the other side, if everyone looks completely different like you, they talk different language. I'm not talking actually about the language itself, but they talk in different ways and you cannot connect yourself. It feels like you are living in the limbo, that nobody is actually speaking the same way than you do, that nobody can feel the same in the same way than you do. So we need people in leadership positions that they do represent all the people that we have in this society. And this is, again, very important when we talk about the future generations. And I'm coming back to my daughter because for me, it's one of my reference points all the time. When I look at her, I make sure that when she's playing with toys, when she's reading books, when she's watching cartoons, then they do have some representations or dolls or pictures or cartoons, and they look like her, because it is important for her, and she actually recognizes that. When somebody look like her, she say, "Oh, she's the one with my hair. Oh, she's the one with my color." It is important for her. So the same when we are talking about leadership, she needs somebody in that level, then they look like her. So when she thinks about her future, she can say, "I want to be like her. I want to be like her." And I cannot highlight, or I cannot say louder how important it is that we need more women in politics. We need more diversity in politics. And we need to make sure that we all work together to get that, because otherwise it will never happen. Like at the moment, I was reading last week, the IPU, the UN, they published, it was called the Women in Politics 2020, if I'm not wrong, so you can Google that. But they were talking about sorry, actually I have it here, and there is 2.49% of all parliamentarians around the world are women. So only 2.49% of all parliamentarians around the world are women. And then when you look at the global sex ratio, it shows that we are equal, or maybe a little bit more men than women, but I mean equal. And only 2.49% are women in politics. That says something. And if I'm not wrong, countries like America, they have never had a woman that was running the country in 2020. Am I wrong, or maybe I'm not? Like,
No, you're on. You're spot on for now. Yeah.
So in 2020, think about that. Like, I mean, for me, I was delighted to see Barack Obama. That was a turning point. But still, we are missing a woman in that at that level. So it is. What can I say? We need to work together. We need to work. It's something that is not only about women. It's not only about migrant women. It's not about that. So we all need to put our effort and energy to bring more voices to politics and all the different sectors.
Yep, that's so true. So true. Powerful message. Sandra, how can people find you?
Well, I'm here in Ireland, so I will be very happy to meet anyone here in Dublin. Actually, I will prefer to meet them in Spain. But anyway, you can find there my email, Twitter, LinkedIn, and I'm willing to talk to people, to share whatever they want, and to set up a Zoom call or whatever they would like to keep this conversation.
Yeah. Real quick, Sandra, for those that are listening to us on the podcast, your email is Sandra, SANDRA hyphen MORIANA at hotmail.com. Your Twitter is at Sandra underscore Moriana, and LinkedIn, Sandra hyphen Ruiz hyphen Moriana. So that's how people can find you on Hotmail, Twitter, and LinkedIn.
Absolutely. And I will
and
love
of course,
to hear
I'm sure some people will take you up on that opportunity to meet in Spain. I can't imagine that, you know. Anyway, well, Sandra, thank you so much for your time today.
It was my pleasure.
Thank you for your time. Until next time, I'm your host, Jason Kotar, and this is Knowledgeable Aging.